Welcome back, colleagues, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Arawn gets a new book, Ivoris attempts to learn the future, and Greff bleeds for the cause. On the heels of a dragon attack, the task force headed into the desert to find an ancient library. With the challenges out of the way, the team still had to pay a heavy price to obtain the object of their treasure hunt. What dangerous knowledge does the Scroll of Ogma hold? Could they trust Adenlov with their treasure? And what does the transmutation magic on Greff mean? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino. We find ourselves the night before you guys are going to arrive in Shulvana properly. You guys have been traveling for a good couple of days now, going at a good speed on your various mounts. So we're going to cover whatever it is that you guys wanted to do, talk about, read, research, do rituals, whatever it is that you think you could reasonably do in this time back. We're going to do that now before we go into Shulvana properly. So I will start at the top of my list and I will go with Arawn. Is there anything you want to do on your travel back?
Arawn is going to be heavily working on some blueprint concepts that he has jumbling around in his head.
Okay.
He's probably got like a fair-sized sheet of parchment, and he's like, whenever he's got the chance, he's like sketching out and.
Yeah. So like to make your blueprints, you're going to need a good couple of days. But you can only really, I'm probably going to say only really do about 2 hours a day in like a rest period or whatever it is. So I'll tell you what, make 2 intellect checks, because I know what you're building, and we're not going to give it away until it's revealed or people work it out. Right. Go ahead and make 2 intellect checks for me. I'm going to say this is basically going to take up your whole time. So unless other people are talking to you, you can't really engage in what they're doing, because this is very intense. This is a big project.
Is this using one of my toolkits?
You're making a blueprint. Do you have
Tinker's set then?
I'm going to go with yeah, let's do it. And you get advantage from the book that you have taken from the library, because it's pertinent to the thing that you're trying to do. So you can have advantage. That's what this book is going to allow you to do on these types of checks for this particular project.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to roll it as an Arcana. But
yes.
it'll be the equivalent.
That's fine. Yeah, go for it. So it's a DC of let's say this one's 14.
That's a 19.
So first check is successful.
And then the second one, 21.
All right, perfect. You have like over the course of like the 6 days, whatever it is that you're traveling, you make good progress. You make basically, if you sat down at your workshop, 2 days worth of progress, which is not bad seeing that you're actually traveling in the desert. For you guys who may be watching him out the corner of your eye, you can just see this large piece of like parchment, and there are some very intricate drawings going on. You could probably hear Arawn like cursing and swearing every time he realizes, oh shit, he's fucked up a dimension, that sort of thing. It's beginning to take shape, but you're not really sure what yet.
So much white out.
Yeah, so much like rubbing out, like shit. Rubbing out with your thumb. So you have 5 days worth of checks to finish off this blueprint.
Awesome. I will note that in my note.
Okay. Okay, let's go to next in the alphabets. I think is Greff.
Greff just wants to have a conversation at the last night, so how about we do Ivoris's visions first?
Okay.
Do you not want to read your book?
I don't think Greff's going to read the book while he's still like wandering around the desert. I think that's
Can Greff read?
Greff can read. That was a joke.
That was a joke at the end of that.
That was
Yeah,
a
that was
joke.
a joke at the end of
You can't expect us to know, though.
Greff can read.
Right.
Greff.
Because
Greff also read from the books when you guys were doing the knowledge, finding the words for knowledge. So deep. You can tell he really reads. Okay, in that case, I will leave that to one side then. You dick. I was trying to get all these meta things out of the way, but okay. Ivoris.
Ivoris is going to be doing the visions that I said I was going to do with the dragon and the scroll. And that's what he's pretty much going to be focusing on.
Okay, I will allow you to make. I'm going to say I don't want to keep you spamming on those. So we'll do the dragon, and we'll say we'll do the maximum of 2 attempts in the time that you have, and we'll do a maximum of 2 attempts on. Is it the scroll you were also looking at?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the next night after you realised that making yourself blind was dumb, you go at it with new vigour. Slightly, you find yourself just outside of Symphona, so you just passed it when you attempt to go for your new vision. So you are focusing on which one first, dragon or scroll?
Let's do scroll first.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to need from you is a... We need a future check, please.
A 4.
You failed. I need you to take a con saving throw of 14.
Oh, man. Real good at con saves. 15. Wow.
15. Congratulations. You don't go blind. Good job. But you just can't seem without touching the scroll, being much, much closer to it, you're not really able to draw anything from it. That's your first night, and you decide probably don't want to risk because you nearly going blind again. So you wait until the next night you're traveling through. So we'll do one more check on this.
A 10.
You got a 10. You fail. Can you also make a con saving throw, please, Neil?
Oh, man.
I can see clearly
17
now.
A 17. You're much better at avoiding the consequences of going blind.
That's a start.
It's a good start, yeah. You are able to get your brain to that point where you're now clear, your brain is ready to receive the information. But there's just something about it that's not engaging. It's not quite right here. You just can't get it. You think maybe the scroll isn't speaking to you for whatever reason. For however your power works, this isn't a thing.
I passed the tests.
You did not. Okay,
Speak to me.
The next day, traveling through, or perhaps the day after, when you just let yourself relax, you get into that really cool, calm space, and you're now focusing on the dragon. So take a future roll.
Here we go. One day I'm going to see something, guys. It's going to be really cool.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be not today, though, because that was a 7.
I need you to make a con saving throw, please.
You see nothing?
14.
You're really good at avoid going blind. This is becoming Ivoris's thing.
I've one good eye, damn it.
You feel you give it some time. She waits not the day before you enter Shulvana, the day before that, so that Greff can do his thing. You think, yeah, I've got it this time. You're really in the zone. You're thinking about it. You're focusing on the dragon, and you just meditate and you let your mind go at peace as you try to feel the threads of reality and fate around you. Take one more future check.
10. Oh, my
God saving throw.
goodness. Natural 20. Let's just waste that this early. Let's go ahead and just get that out of the way.
Man, where was that roll for your future seeing?
Well, you notice how I passed on my con saves and then
You
immediately
nailed
failed future
your
rolls.
con saves. Yeah, you're so confident in your future abilities, you don't think you're ever going to go. You maybe that blindness was just a one-off thing you weren't too sure about. Maybe it won't happen. It probably will, but maybe it won't happen. All right, my dude, that's unfortunately your future checks. I can't let you just keep spamming it, so.
Yeah, that was a lot of spamming.
It's not me this time, guys.
Oh my God.
Roll
Yeah,
20
but-
doesn't hate me this
But he
time.
has failure, success, so. his roll 20 is actually 100% fair. It's like a 50-50.
My issue is that it was an exact split of 50-50
Yes.
because if it were off, I would have probably seen something.
So what you're
every
saying is that
time.
Neil is balance,
Yeah, Neil is this game's balance.
personifies
Okay,
balance.
so is there anything else you want to do or talk to? Anything else you want to check out while... I mean, you do have a couple of days and you do have travel time that you could talk to other people if you wish. So I'm leaving it open to you.
No, you guys would notice Ivoris is continually more frustrated every day that he seems to wander off away from the campfire and sit alone for an hour or so. And anger is not really something that you see very often from Ivoris
Yeah.
or expect from Yanti. But
Yeah. It's
you certainly see that he's frustrated.
yeah, like emotion other than I just want to rip your face off isn't normal on a Yunti. It's the only expression that other Yuntis get. Ivoris is a little different. Sometimes you can see something there, sometimes you can't. But this case, you are seeing definite frustration. Okay, if there is nothing else you want to interact with, because unfortunately someone else is very busy doing blueprints and less disturbed. All right, Greff, night before.
I would like to just set the scene, the idea that we're kind of just helping each other get the campfire started. And as Greff is kind of setting the fire, he kind of like just out of nowhere, he hasn't really, like none of us have really spoken, I'm assuming, for like the last 4 days. We're all kind of in our own headspace doing our own things. And Greff just finally kind of speaks up and just goes, do you guys believe in wishes?
In wishes?
Yeah. When I was younger, my mother used to tell me a story that the gods, they created the world and they planted one wish in the world after they created all the races. And nobody found the wish, and the wish grew into a plant so big that it pushed the heavens forever out of the reach of the mortals. And the plant grew fruits, and the fruits were dragons. And just like if you plant an apple and you end up with a lot of apples, this wish grew into many wishes, and the wishes are dragons. She always told me this story. Do you guys think dragons are made of wishes? Do you think dragons can grant wishes? I never thought dragons existed.
Greff, that's a wild tale there.
But where do dragons come from? They fit none of the stories, or at least none that I've heard.
Arawn, hearing you start, Arawn probably wasn't paying attention to any of this. He was probably like sitting off on his own, continually writing in on the parchment, and hearing you, the word dragon probably got him. So he probably like paused, looked up, and said, "What? There are the stories about dragons?
Well,
What stories?"
the one I just said, that dragons are made of wishes.
You see Arawn look down and like in one little corner of the paper start writing something. What else? Details.
Ivoris rolls
I
his
don't know.
eyes.
Just my mother always said that the dragon's bones could be made into weapons of great destruction. There's
Another corner writing.
The scales could be created into tarps that are indestructible, but their most powerful
Third corner
part is their voice, which will grant wishes.
Fourth corner.
And I never thought I never thought dragons existed, but now they do. Do you think wishes exist?
I mean,
Should you have to roll to like do this?
I think you proved me.
Can we just make shit up like this?
He's telling a fairy tale. Let it go.
You can make bullshit up all you want, technically. That doesn't mean it's going to be real.
It's a fairy tale. His mother told him. Who am I to tell him that Greff's mother may or may not be wrong? Just because the three of us know differently.
Oh my goodness.
His mother, and he didn't believe that dragons were real. So, it's a fairy tale. I will allow this.
Greff's mom is my favorite character.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will repeat the last question. Do you guys think wishes are real?
I mean, it's possible. There is magic of all sorts in the world, so I mean, could be.
Dragons are magic. Wishes are magic. They're different and the same.
Okay.
Everything contains a little bit of magic in it. I don't know that there's any one source capable of bestowing a wish continually. I imagine it would be a one and done sort of thing.
Yeah. No, just dragons are so elusive. They don't seem to want to be around anyone. They don't talk to anyone. I didn't even know they existed, but just I want to see that dragon again.
No, you don't.
I do. I actually agree. I want to see the dragon again. Too.
Should we have stopped by Symphona?
Maybe not so much, but
All right, that all aside, and Greff kind of thumps himself down. What are we doing with the scroll? Because as I'm understanding it, you guys are talking about not getting paid.
I am finding that the scroll has a lot more uses than I thought previously, and it might be better if we kept it in safekeeping by us keeping it. And by us, I mean me.
You were the one chosen to receive it.
It did do some interesting things to me. So, I mean, kind of, yeah.
I'm sure.
All right, so we're just going to lie to Edna.
I think it might be better if we just say something along the lines of, in order for us to obtain it, we had to make a binding deal that we were the ones to protect and guard it, which is not a lie.
They're not going to take that answer.
Well, they're not going to take this scroll either if we hide it from them. What are they going to do? They can't kill us. We're the ones to know where it is. Our safety is sure, and the scroll is safe. We just need to find a place to keep it.
This feels like a big gamble.
It does, Greff. But if you hadn't noticed, gods are dying. And that's not something that just happens.
Gods dying, dragons arising. What the hell does this have to do with any of us?
Well, I don't know, but all I know is that someone seemed real excited to get their hands on that. And now it's in our hands. And if there's one thing that I'm certain of, it's that neither of you can do anything bad with it. I can't say that I trust you with it, but Ogma does. So that's good enough for me. But it is safer in our hands than anyone else's. That we know.
And more useful. You see Arawn's like still writing shit on his parchment.
I'm sure also that.
What the hell happened to your eye?
Iris just like stops and kind of looks at you, kind of shocked at the sudden change
If
of
I'm going to put my life on the line to keep a lie about some scroll or just try to keep the scroll away from the fucking Kino initiative, and you're going to tell me what the hell happened to your eye.
What do you think it has to do with anything?
No idea. Just one day you showed up with it, and then you exploded.
And because I lost my eye, somehow you feel like you have to weigh your trust in me?
No, but you're part of that god that died.
Severus.
Yeah. And you show up with missing one eye, and then he dies. Like, your whole deal happened at the same time, or at least leading up to the death of the god. What happened?
I was standing next to you when the god died. Clearly didn't do nothing.
Yeah, your eye missing led up to it. You have the symbol of your god engraved in that nasty socket of yours.
Yeah, that might have been a misjudgment on my part, but working on making that a useful thing. Anyways.
Arawn's wings just slowly wrap around him. He's removing himself from this awkward conversation. He can still hear her. He's just hiding away.
Someone came at night, broke into the manor, and tried to kill me.
And you lost your eye in the fight, and he lost his life. Nothing to do with your god. Nothing to do with this downfall.
No. Happened, obviously, before I suspected that anything might be wrong. I clearly just have baubles of Saras lying around. I'm a paladin. I lived with the cleric of Saras. We have a lot of them. This crystal is nothing more than a trinket. I just popped it in there to make it feel more comfortable. It's about the same size and all that.
And now you want to protect somebody else's god.
Greff, do you know what I am?
I think you told me once you're a UNT something.
Do you know what the auntie do?
I'll be very honest here, not really.
Well, Greff, they do terrible things, all in order to gain one god or another's favor. Usually evil gods. To get power, Greff.
Your kind of power.
No. They don't become paladins. Some of them have succeeded in becoming gods. Very few. But that's the goals of Yanti, to become as powerful as you can be. And they try to obtain that the easiest way that they can, by worshipping evil gods that demand things that they can easily do. Appeasing gods is in my blood, Greff. I just choose different gods than the other Yanti. But my god just died. The one person to put their trust in me. I'm not trying to win favor from Ogma, Greff. I still have things to do for him.
Fine. But I ain't lying to Etta.
And what are you going to say?
Ask Ivoris. No, ask Arawn. He's the one who has the scroll.
That's fine.
Not planning to rat you guys out. We make a good team whether we like it or not. I'm just not thrilled about the idea of this whole expedition to come out on no pay.
Greff, how much money do you have? How much money do you go through? How are you in this much of a need?
I don't track my money. We do jobs and I do things. It's not about the money. It's about not getting paid. It's about throwing it away. Just not a fan of it. And I hope this doesn't become a thing for us.
Well, I hope not either, Greff. I don't exactly enjoy what's been going on these last few weeks. That might be a surprise to you. But I'm not having any fucking fun.
You don't look like it. You look tired. You look worn out. And you look angry.
Angry. You really don't know a lot about Yanti, Greff.
No, sir, I do not.
Just stay away from them. The other ones. And Ivoris goes about his business as if the conversation is done.
And on that wonderful note, we will conclude that conversation then.
Fine.
Okay. You guys wake up, various states of being awake at whatever time in the morning. Some of you need your morning coffee equivalent. Some of you just good to go on. About midday is when you see Sylvana in the distance, and it's probably an hour or two after that you finally arrive at the mine. Are you guys going to go home first? Are you going to go in to report to Adna? What do you guys want to do right now?
All right, Arawn. You want to hide it?
I would assume that like somewhere in my workshop, I probably have like a safe, like a gun locker or something, right?
Yeah. It'd be fairly good to assume that. It's not, I'm not going to say it's the world's best lock ever, but yes, it's good.
And also it's with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I assume
Make
it's
your
not something that they actually know about, though. Like, it's probably like one of those hidden behind like a rock or like it's.
Adam went, "Oh, darling, here's a big space for you. Do what you wish," and she never inquired any further.
Well, he probably did it after the fact.
Exactly. Yeah. So she gave you a space and just never inquired what you've done with it. Yeah.
Plausible deniability.
Correct.
I have a storage locker. It's a safe of sorts in my workshop. We can put it there. Nobody goes in my workshop except for me, so.
And you think it will be safe there? You think they won't raid your workshop once we tell them we won't give them the item of gods?
I think it would be very unwise for them to try to enter my workshop uninvited.
Fine. I ain't convincing you guys not to do this, so go ahead.
I mean, look at it this way. You two can stay here, and I'll go hide it. That way, plausible deniability for you. You don't know where it is either.
It's in your workshop.
Is it?
Greff genuinely looks confused when you say that. Like, oh, no, it's in your pocket right now, but...
Probably exactly what you were looking for. Okay, so you guys go into the mine. Arawn, you go into your workshop. What are you actually doing with the scroll?
He's going to have it all. I assume like the scroll's like all rolled up, and it's got like what is it, like those wood things that like you have on the scrolls that like helps roll it open and keep it bound and all that.
Yep.
He takes that off and essentially binds a different scroll, and he's actually going to hide it like in plain sight. Essentially, he's going to make it look like it's a plain ordinary scroll.
So essentially what you're doing is you're removing this holy relic from its holy holding things. You're going to put a different scroll on that, hide that in a hidden place, for example, a safe, and then just have the blank piece of parchment somewhere sitting out on your work desk.
Pretty much.
Okay. I'm going to need a deception check at advantage because that's fucking hilarious to me. It's just to hide it. This will determine as to whether anyone will see it if they're passing by or coming in.
19 deception.
Okay, I will make a note of that at the bottom. 19 deception to hide scroll in plain sight. This is genius. Okay, all right.
Genius. That's kind of Arawn's MO.
Okay, so Arawn has managed to hide this in plain sight. It just looks like another bit of scroll, another piece of parchment. In your,
not that they would know.
Not that anyone would know. In your safe, you place the one that's on the holy binders. I can't believe you've done this. And you make your way up to meet the rest of you guys. Are you guys gonna go straight into Admilov's? Are you gonna talk with each other? Are you gonna hunt her down? What? I just want to figure out a feel of what you guys are doing.
I guess we're gonna go check in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greff doesn't want to leave them alone with Etna for the reveal of the fucking scroll being not there.
Okay. When you explore the mine fully, you find that she's in like your equivalent of the briefing room. She's talking to a drow in the Undercommon, and she kind of like hushes down quietly and shoos them off, and away they go. And she looks up at the rest of you and is like, darlings, welcome back. Come sit down.
I'll sit down, I assume.
Greff is gonna stand.
How was your whatever it was you were doing?
My trip. It was very, very eventful. Learned a lot of things. Did a few things, hush hush secrets. What about you guys and your mission?
It was successful.
You got the scroll.
We did, with the caveat.
Why do I feel like I'm not going to enjoy this caveat?
You're not.
Okay, Greff, it's not terrible. Essentially,
she looks at Greff and holds her hand up. Greff.
What?
What did you do?
Ask Arawn. He's the last one who had it.
She looks at Greff. She looks at Arawn. She looks at Greff and looks at Arawn and just like, Well, what is this caveat then? And she keeps glancing over to Greff.
In order to obtain the scroll, we had to essentially, I had to bind myself with it in a sense that I have to be the one to protect it, and I can't give it over to anybody. It is safe. I'm protecting it, but I can't hand it over.
She has an odd expression on her face. It's not easily read. She says, so let me get this straight. You have gone into the desert. You have retrieved this holy relic from God knows where. And you have it, but you're not actually going to hand over.
You're very good at paraphrasing.
Yes, I just want to make sure I get this correct. You, in fact, have done your job, but you refuse to complete the handover.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where exactly is this scroll? How safe is it?
On a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 9. 9.5.
Now, you understand that we all work for the man. We work for the Kino Initiative Task Force and the Council. How is one supposed to explain that I sent out a team, they retrieved the item that we need, but they refused to hand it over?
If it helps, you could always make the argument that how are you supposed to argue with the god? I mean, if you want to go talk to Agma and say, hey, give me the scroll, you can see how that goes.
Now, there are, no offense, darling, as fabulous as you aren't exactly a godly type.
No, I'm not. That's why all this is all fucked up.
And she kind of like looks at the rest of your companions and like, we have one that's kind of bound to a dead god, no offense, and another one who is, I don't think Ogma would exactly be his calling. It could just be that you were bound to it because you just happen to be the nearest one who's available. The worst of all evils, for example.
He passed the test first.
He did indeed.
See how old he looks now.
Yes, I was going to ask.
I don't want to talk about it. It's a sore subject.
Well, I'm sure that many joints of yours get sore as you get old. I understand. I'm afraid I'm really going to rather have to insist. I can't, for a start of all, pay you if you don't hand over the item, which you were, basically paid to go get. And secondly, this object is extremely powerful in the wrong hands and if it's not kept safe. There are many high clerics and paladins and monks of Occam's order is probably better able to take care of it and treat it with the reverence it deserves.
Well, none of them were chosen. None of them passed the tests. None of them were bound to it like I was.
As you're looking at her, take a perception check. Basically, anyone. I think you're all probably looking at us. You can all take a perception check. It's not an easy check, I'm not going to lie.
Ron got a 14.
Yep.
Greff got a 17.
Yep.
17 as well.
Yep. Okay, you guys can see it. She puts a hand over her mouth as she like begins thinking and weighing up her options. And she turns to look at the group as a whole. She says, "How safe and how sure are you?"
As short as I can be.
Ivoris?
Well, I don't know where it is. So he's kept it safe from me.
She slides her eyes over to
Before
Greff.
she says anything, Greff just answers, "Ask Arawn. He's the last one who had it." He's like pinching his mouth together. He's got like pencil-thin lips at this moment. Just
I'm really left with a rather mixed bag room. You're not particularly helpful, any of you.
I thought I was the most helpful to you.
Please, this is not the time for quips. I've got to try to figure how to get you out of this mess. If you fail to complete your mission, they're not going to send you on any others. You're essentially holding it hostage.
How much time? What was the time frame on this? When did they want it by? Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, you guys had another 4 days. If you can come up with... Oh, damn it, I can't say that either. I will come up with something, but it's probably going to cost me. And if not, then you may find yourselves on the receiving end of some of the other KIT task force.
They would send others after us for this?
They sent you to get it. They are very intent on getting it. If they just wanted any Tom, Dick, and Harry, chance of it not being returned, they would have hired some mercenaries, but they got, well, our best team to go get it. If you have any... Oh, damn it, I can't say that either. Bollocks.
If you were to say it off the record, there's only the 4 of us in here.
She looks at you very intently and says, "Nothing I say is off the record right now. Nothing any of us say are off record." She's giving you a very pointed look.
Ron's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Sure. Okay, do that and do an Arcana check.
12. Meh. Not great.
Super not great. You can tell that she has a magical artifact on her. She has her scarf is magic. Looking around the room, you can tell that Ivoris's entire being is some sort of divine magic, mostly focused in his eye. That's pretty much the extent of everything you see, apart from your own magic items that you have on you. Yeah, I'm afraid you don't see anything much beyond that.
Arawn just doesn't say anything. He just kind of raises an eyebrow and is like visibly looking around the room. I'm going to say that when he casts Detect Magic, his eyes probably have like a bit of a vibrant hue to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've actually imagined like the eyes just go like kind of like glass, and then everywhere you look, like the magic that you see is kind of reflected in that glass. That's how I see Detect Magic anyway, because I think it's kind of cool. Okay, once you've cast that, and she kind of like nods at you very slowly, just like you're on the right track, kind of a nod. She says, "Well, we have 4 days to come up with an alternative, something that may appease the Kino initiative. Shall we put it like that? However, there are notes for most of you, letters that have arrived during your absence. Ivoris, it would appear that there are some people wishing to speak with you about, and I'm very sorry for your loss, about his will, his estate. Why didn't you tell us?
He kind of gives her that. He gives her kind of a matter of fact look. Most people want news to come to them from someone who can sympathize with them on that news. And Yanti are not that. I didn't want to be insensitive.
She kind of like gets up from her chair. She goes around and she just gives you a hug. Just a very quick one. She says, sometimes, sweetheart, the message is not about you delivering bad tidings to me. It's about sharing your pain.
Yanti don't feel pain.
And she gives you a very firm look of like, uh-huh. But you're not quite normal, are you? Well, I'm here should you need to talk about it. But yes, there are some people down in the town who wish to speak with you as soon as you got back. I reminded them that although you were asked to stay, you do in fact work for me. And I like to see them go over my head. Again, sorry for your loss, my friend.
Thank you.
Greff, I got a very unusual delivery. Let's put it like this.
Yeah?
Someone left a note. A bizarre little Aarakocra bird thing arrived and gave me a hastily scrawled note and just whistled off again.
For me?
Yes, for you.
Give it.
Well, one traditionally says please. I'll give it to you in a moment. And Ron, I have a little something here for you too.
For me?
Yes.
From who? What?
Oh, it'll become
Why?
fairly evident. Probably some long-lost family member or something. I don't really know. I need to look. Right. Ivoris, on your way. Greff. She goes to kind of like her table at the end of the briefing room, and she comes up with this kind of like battered note in a battered envelope, and it looks like it's made as like blood and beer and gore on it. Like it's not a it's exactly what you'd expect from this place. And it just has your name like hastily scrawled on the front. It clearly hasn't been opened. And
Okay, as soon as Greff sees that, he like eases off a lot. Like, okay.
And then it says, "We know what you did in that bar to that guy."
we know what
The
you
body's
did.
still there.
We know what you did last month.
It's just
I know. I still brag about it.
It's like someone sent him a head. They just sent him a boot.
Wake up with a
other
boot in your
boot.
bed. She takes a little time, like going through her table, her desk, like looking for Arawn's note. She seems to be taking a really long time doing it, and she seems to be faffing with a lot of stuff, making a big show of it. And then she comes over with an envelope with something in it. That has got nothing written on it. It's not sealed. It's just as it is, and she hands it over to you, in an almost peculiar way, so that the front of it doesn't show. She puts it into your hand. She says, well, you'll probably want to read that away from prying eyes, I assume. Important family members, matters and such. So. Anyway, come back in a few days and if you have alternatives, I will be very happy to hear them. If not, then I guess we'll find a way. Now, off you go. Shoo.
All right.
All right.
As soon as we leave the office, Greff just kind of loudly goes like, well, this is a right fucking situation you guys have created. But I will admit, I am quite keen on fighting Kino Initiative Task Force 4. That would be very interesting. So, if worst comes to worst, that's at least fun.
I was going to suggest that we hand it over much later when we know it's safer to. But it looks like their date is not exactly going to work with us. 4 days is not enough time.
Okay.
You want to fight them,
So-
and I think it's pretty inevitable.
Worst comes to worst, we'll do that. But until then, you guys can find me at the leaking bucket.
Sure. I've still got to find out if I've got a home to go back to.
Arawn rolls his eyes and walks off towards his workshop. The letter he is like holding with his mechanical arm as far away as he possibly can.
Yes,
Like it's about to explode at any second. He's like holding it away, walking.
See, you're seeing like an explosion. I'm seeing like Mission Impossible. Like it'll burn as soon as it finishes. Like that's my personal feeling.
While he's walking away, he is looking at the side that Admiral was trying to.
It's completely blank. There's nothing written on it.
Do I still have detect magic on?
I'm going to go with yes, and the answer is no. You can't see anything on it.
Okay.
So if it's going to explode, it's mechanical.
In which case, I have a rival.
Okay.
Rival artificer.
Well, yeah, you guys always have rivals. You're artificers is what you do. So which one of you guys wants to go first?
Roll for it.
Roll for it. Roll
for
a
it.
d20.
Okay.
All right, I'm 1 to 17.
He's like, this is dumb. Just tell me.
This is the dumbest shit. Someone just...
Just someone go.
I got a 17.
I got a 16.
Oh, Jesus, we're doing this?
yes, just roll. Apparently, this is what we're doing.
Oh my goodness.
What do we
And
get?
I roll a natural 20.
See, doesn't it feel good to have earned going first?
No, it
Okay,
feels like we just wasted 3 really good rolls.
So Greff gets to go first.
Greff gets to go first.
You're right.
All right.
First, Greff is gonna check out the messy, smelly scroll he got.
Inside, I'm going to assume that you guys like split off way enough that you can start doing these things on your own, unless you specifically say, I'm going to go talk to this.
Greff is intending to do this alone, if he can.
Okay. Yeah, of course you can. It's perfectly doable. This is a letter from I'd say friend is probably a bit much of a too familiar term. It's more of a working acquaintance of yours, from a person named Amira Bow, who you should remember vaguely from your notes that I sent you the other week.
Yep.
Okay, just checking you got it. From Amira Bow saying, if you could please see her as soon as possible. It is of the utmost importance, and she can't wait much longer. This was dated 5 days ago.
Oh. 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 God damn it, Amira. Keep anything fucking going without me.
That was totally in character voice, of course.
No, that's Aether being upset that Amira fuck everything up without me. Yeah, then Greff's going to the leaky bucket.
Okay. You make your way to the leaky bucket. The boot has been removed. I can't be dealing with this again. There's still signs of like blood and gore and booze and all this good stuff. Like it's still the same shithole that you left it as. You know that Amira, when she's here, is usually found in the very small back room. I say small back room, it's more like there's a flimsy wall against the other wall, and that's where she tends to sit and do her accounting, her books. Amira runs the bar. She is officially the owner, inverted commas. When you arrive, there is a tiefling working the bar, the same woman that you saw before. Azed is still over in the corner singing more sea shanties, which, for the love of God, I'm not going to keep doing. And this is basically what you find when you turn up. There's a couple of patrons here, enjoying the afternoon drinking. It's definitely busy. I mean, Apocalypse is good for business.
It is. All right, Greff's gonna walk up to the bar and look the girl in the eyes and like, where's Amira?
Amira, she is downstairs. She is in the cellar.
All right, make sure nobody comes to bother us. And Greff starts walking downstairs.
Okay. And she goes back to basically ignoring you and doing her job. You make your way to the little back room. You find the hatch. You make your way down there. It's pitch darkness down here. There's no extra light. There's nothing.
Greff strikes a torch if he definitely has one in his backpack.
Yeah, you would have one, yeah. As you strike a torch, you can see the huge amount of casks in here. You can see like some of the smaller bottles, the kind of like drow wine that's like all over the place. There's a lot of alcohol down here. It's definitely used as storage. At the far end of it, you can make out a shadow of a person, probably roughly Amira's height.
All right. What was so goddamn important you sent a fucking letter to my business, to my work?
Oh, were you concerned? Well, not concerned enough. It took you 5 days to get here.
Well, yeah, I was out of town. Wait, is that Amira's voice?
Yep. She's a cat.
Yeah, well, I was in the desert doing work. I came as soon as I could, and Greff starts approaching her. So...
She puts her hand out and walks towards you. She seems to be like over-exaggerating some of her movements as she's making her way towards you. She wants to definitely be drawing your eye to her. And she joins you like much, much closer in the firelight here, under your torchlight. She's about 6 feet tall. She's a tabaxi, as I said before. She's a black tabaxi. And yeah, she's wearing like a very thin amount of like leather armor. Things can get rough at the leaky bucket, as you would expect. Yeah, she's kitted out. You know from experience that she knows her shit and very could easily put you on your ass without any qualms. She may come us as girly and innocent, but you definitely know otherwise. And she kind of like flicks your face with the end of her tail, and she says, So we have a little bit of a situation. I need to leave, so I need to pay what I owe you, like now, because I don't want to add you following me for not paying on my debt to my list of troubles.
Now, this list of troubles of yours, is it maybe gonna get left on the bar? Am I gonna have to deal with this bullshit too?
She looks down, like, really girlishly and looks up through her lashes, and she says, I don't think so, but I think maybe someone's probably gonna, like, maybe ask about me and one of my friends, and I'd much rather not be here when they do. You'd do that for me, wouldn't you, Greff? And she, like, bats her eyelashes and just, like, runs her tail along her arm.
There's like a smug look on Greff's face as he just goes like, I'm not gonna lie for you, Amira.
But perhaps just this once? I mean, I'd always make good on the debt that I owe you, and I have been a good business partner so far. You've always received your money when you've needed to come and get it, and I've always kept things safe and running here and, taking care of the bodies when they've appeared, she kind of jokingly adds.
Yeah. Who are these people that are following you? And I swear by all the gods that are left, if you say Kino Initiative.
She kind of like pauses, like mid-stroke.
God damn it! No! Oh! How are you people so good at pissing off the Kino?
Well, and like she removes her tail, feeling this is probably not going to be getting her anywhere anytime soon. She kind of like stands up a bit straighter and looks squarely at you, and she says, just in a little bit of trouble, and I'm trying to protect a friend, and I need to make sure that she's safe.
Greff is going to grab her kind of sternly by the arm and just look her straight in the eyes and say,
Oh, are you grabbing her like really forcefully, or are you just like trying to? Because if you do, she's going to step away.
It's like it's a dominance play, like it's a light intimidation, if you want to call it that.
You feel her like very much stiffen under your touch. You can feel that she's very much on edge and about to lash out unless you say something good.
Okay, Jesus, fuck. Well, what Greff was about to say is not good. He basically looks her in the eyes and says, are you assembly?
Take an insight check. I'm not sure how to respond to this.
Ugh, just 10. It's a garbage roll.
She takes a step back and says, no. Of course I'm not assembly. I mean, Greff, we've known each other for a very long time. I'm barely able to keep this bar running and throw people out. I'm not up for that sneaky type.
I don't care if you are.
Please.
They don't pay me per head I bring in. They pay me to do jobs, and apparently they're going to stop paying me soon.
So you're not going to be working for them?
Most likely not. My partners decided to go against their orders, so I'm in a bit of a pickle.
But you're loyal. And she looks very down.
No, fuck that.
Oh.
Loyal? I just don't want any fucking trouble. Just want to find good fights. I want to find people to fight. Didn't come here to play politician. I came here to fight. What have I gotten out of it? I get to beat up women and find scrolls. This has been an absolute waste of my time.
She looks up at you and stands up very straight. And she puts her hand like on your arm, not seductively, nothing like she's been playing with before. And she says, "You want a real fight?
Yeah.
Then help me. The bar's yours. The bar's always been yours. We know that. Help me. This girl, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for her. That's why I'm in so much trouble. Well, that's not technically true. I'm in trouble of my own accord, but she's important. We have to keep her safe. And Greff, just help me get her where I need to get her. That's all.
Where are you guys going?
I heard I need to check it out, but I heard there's a place north of here where I could smuggle her to and get her out of Kino.
Well, this is assembly business, isn't it?
She nods.
Yeah, I thought so. What? When do we need to leave?
The guy said he wouldn't be there for 2 days, so I've got some time.
That's fucking great. I'll come back tomorrow and talk to you about this.
I need you to know something.
Yeah?
If you rat me out, I will rip you apart. I don't care what training you've had or where you've had it. You fuck me on this, Greff, and I will screw you.
Greff rolls his eyes and says, I don't lie, and I don't betray.
Okay. I will make sure she's ready. Might want to get a gag, though. She does talk a lot.
Oh. Fine, she and Arawn can hang out.
And with that, she takes 2 or 3 steps back out of the firelight. And when you once saw her kind of like silhouette, it just completely vanishes. Her presence is nowhere to be found in the cellar. Okay. Leaving Greff and Aethor somewhat baffled. Who's next?
That would be Arawn.
Okay, Arawn.
Because I got a 17.
You did. 17, baby.
Arawn goes into his workshop, locks the door, bolts it. I imagine like the door into his workshop has like fucking like a deadbolt. It's got one of the sliders. It's got one of the little dangly chains. It's got like a whole bunch of different shit.
For your homework, I want you to come up with 2 traps because you were talking about your place being safe.
Yeah.
So for your homework, think of just two traps that you would have set up here. We'll say that will be like your protection because otherwise, like a door is hardly protection in your workshop. So
Right.
It's just something I go with. Okay.
Yeah, he would have like some sort of trap system set up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So he goes in, locks everything up. First order of business is he's going to actually take his gun because he has a plan. He's going to take his gun, lay it out on his workbench, and where the I'm not a gun person, IRL, I think it's called the stock, the part that's like the big handle that like rests against the shoulder and everything.
Yep. It's where it's basically like the kind of the stop body. Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to put in a concealed chamber.
Okay.
That he could take the scroll, roll it up, and be able to hide it inside.
Okay. You're probably not going to be able to hide it very easily in the stock. you would have to further crumple up and defile the holy relic of Ogma. I assume that's not a problem for him, but...
He's in it for efficiency, not cosmetics.
Okay, so the holy relic that has been preserved wonderfully as a whole piece of parchment now has fold lines in it. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to take you some time to do, but it's definitely doable.
All right, that's the very first thing he's doing.
Yeah, we'll say that is doable.
He's not even touching the letter. The letter is like in the furthest corner of the room. He probably took like a metal bowl or like some sort of like covering shield for when he experiments and put it like over it.
Out of sight, out of mind, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say it's probably a fairly easy thing. And even if you do break it, you do have like, I say like spares, inverted commas around. You could remake some. So yeah, I like putting a concealed compartment is probably
I am
a fairly easy
proficient
thing for you.
And have expertise in woodcarver's tools.
Yes. Yeah, take yourself a check with your woodcarver's tools then. If you want it to be like a
dexterity?
super flush, yeah, let's go dexterity. This is for like how concealed it is.
Okay.
If you get a 2,
I'm gonna make it a sleight of hand.
Okay,
But it's
yeah,
gonna be
that's
the
fine.
equivalent.
Yeah.
All right. Roll 20.
That doesn't sound
I thought we were over this.
Okay.
That is a 10. That means I rolled a 2
I wasted all those good rolls earlier.
because I had a +8 on that roll.
Okay. All right.
Listeners, you heard it here. Roll 20 confirmed hates me.
We love it.
As usual.
Okay. So you think you could probably do a better job, but you're not really sure how right now. Okay.
It works for now, though.
It does the job. Like, you know, people would look at your gun and go, what the hell is that? And then it's kind of like vaguely kind of technophobe-ish still phage of the history over in Kino. People probably don't want to look at it too closely anyway. But if they did, they'd probably spot it. But it does the job. And you're probably going to have it on you at all times, so you hope.
Right.
Okay. All right, then.
And it's not like the bag of holding where if they flip it upside down, they're going to fucking find it.
Exactly. They have to do some work to like open it and find it and stuff. Okay, so you now have a concealed compartment. That's where you're now keeping the scroll of Ogma.
Yes, that is now where I'm keeping it because I no longer want to leave it in my workshop as I had originally intended.
Okay, cool. All right.
That being said, I am keeping the handle, the holder with the fake one. I'm still keeping that kind of sort of concealed in a way where people would think like he was trying to hide this.
Yep. Yes. Okay, you're red herring. Okay.
My red herring, yes. Okay. Once that's done, he's then going to take the letter. He's going to keep the bomb shield or whatever the hell it is, like over the letter.
So paranoid. Yeah.
And then peeking underneath, he's going to have like workshop goggles on. He's like peeks underneath and takes like some fine tools, like little tweezers and whatnot, and slowly starts opening it.
You've built this up so much. It's hilarious. Yeah. You slowly...
She said it was from his family. He is paranoid as fuck hearing that.
Yep, that's cool. So you take the utmost care to keep it concealed under this thing and use your very fine tools to extract the letter from inside this blank envelope.
Yes.
And you use them to
Is there a white powder on it?
No, there isn't. There's
anthrax. Good.
Nothing.
All right.
There's nothing of the sort, my man. And you open up this thing. I assume you're going to try and read it while it's like partially still under the cover.
He's going to take it out.
Doable. Okay, yeah.
And if nothing explodes, then he will lift it a little bit more and then try to read.
Okay. It's written in a terrible hand. It almost looks as if someone hasn't looked at it whilst they've been writing it. And it's just a few lines of notes. Like you think, oh crap, maybe the person, like, you know, they were writing it and just like, because they weren't looking at it, partially wrote like on the table or whatever it was. It's a freaking mess. It's all over the place. But with a little bit of patience, and you have the time, you can figure out what this note says. And the note says, "We are being scried upon. Help me to hide myself so I can tell you what's going on. Adna."
Okay, seeing that, then I'll take Arawn will take the. Actually, no, he's gonna semi keep the barrier still there, and he's gonna check the note for any other concealed writing, any ciphers, any like temperature sensitive ink, things like that.
I'm gonna give you that if you try and look for things like hidden runes, hidden notes, invisible ink, that thing you basically come up with nothing because there is nothing there. But I will allow you to try a cipher check. So essentially I just want an intellect check. It's straight as is.
Straight intellect?
Yep, straight intellect check.
13.
As you look through the way that these things have been drawn, the thing that you thought like had disappeared off the edge, it's just actually just a small amount of writing, and you couldn't read all of it. But after having a look in it like more intently, you could begin to like, oh, that looks like an R, or oh, that could be a P, or that could be an E. Like you begin to look down that, and it says, basically, from what you think you can pick up, basically says, in exchange for doing this, I will help you. And that's basically all that is, all the additional stuff that she gets. No, I'll give it to you properly. In exchange for helping me, I will partially fund your project.
Okay. Arawn is going to, I assume he has a candle or something?
Yeah, sure.
He's just going to light that letter up.
Oh yeah, that's the other part of the cipher. Please burn what's red.
I mean, he would have assumed.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple days, right?
Yep.
What do I need to do?
You would probably need to find that kind of spell. You would need to find like the anti-scrying spell. You would need to go find someone who could do that because I don't believe you have access to it. If you do not have the ability to cast that level spell, you're going to need to find someone who can cast it and is willing to. For a start, you're also going to need to basically create a small device that would do this or imbue it into an object. So I will leave you thinking on that because that's a lot of information to deal with and a lot of things that you're probably going to want to plan for. And we're going to go take a quick walk over to Ivoris.
Sure.
So I'll give you some planning time. You two have plans to make. I love it.
Oh, man. Always planning.
Ivoris, you make your way towards your mansion, I assume.
My mansion.
Are you going towards your mansion, or are you going to go to like the local law office who've actually asked you to come in?
Yeah.
For this entirely up to you.
I'll read the dumb letter that the dumb people sent me, and then I'll go to the damn place where they need me.
But basically, it's just requesting your presence in the matter relating to the death of Scamos.
Wonderful. I would love to talk about that.
Of course.
Sure.
I got really confused when you wrote Scamos because in my head, because you kept saying Scamos. I was
he's a piece of scum.
Yeah.
Scummo.
Okay. So you make your way to the local inverted commas like law enforcement office. It's a building on the edge of Shilvana, the one that you're particularly been called to. There's a couple of here, but you've been called to one like that's fairly on the edge. It's fairly small. There's like one or two law enforcement officers in here. They're clearly lower on the. I want to say lower. No, yeah, they're lower on the like hierarchy than you are. You definitely have pull in here, but they still need to do their job, and they still called you in. There is a goblin who's in charge of like this particular case, and they seem very nervous to see that it is in fact you, a scary Yunti thing that they should be killing on sight, but have been told not to. They look very nervous as they welcome you, and it's like, please, come sit.
Thank you. Yeah, Ivoris just looks kind of bored, tired, bored. Doesn't look any particular way other than that.
We have a few matters to discuss. Obviously, we were very busy when shortly after he was killed.
Sure.
And you left, so we couldn't exactly finish up our investigation. So, I hope everything went okay.
Things are going to be fine.
Well, that is good to hear. You are in a good mood?
Is this guy really scared right now?
Yes, he is, yes.
Continuously just very frightened.
Yes. You and T are not well received, and you're terrifying to this poor goblin creature.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got back from a trip, that's all.
Right. I know that you and the victim was very close, so I would like to officially extend our sympathies, and we would like to let you know that. Thank you. We would like to let you know that we buried Scamos in accordance to his writ, his will, and that his belongings are currently in holding until we can finish this investigation and wrap up all of the loose ends. I'm sure that you understand, right?
Sure.
Okay, the belongings are supposed to pass to you, but you are a kind of a person of interest in this case, so we have to, do things. So we went there, we retrieved his body and the body of the man who slayed him. Allegedly, I can't say for sure. And we took them and we performed Speak with Dead upon them both. Scamos said that he could not say who had killed him, and then later said he wouldn't say or couldn't. We couldn't make out. He just kept repeating that he couldn't and wouldn't. So we are not really sure what is going on there. This thing is a little vague. It's not the greatest thing, but sometimes it yields results. You understand. And we performed the same on the goblin, the goblin that you slayed, in defense of your life and of having killed him. And we found out that he said the last thing that he saw when we asked him was this old cleric's face, which is what we would expect if he killed him and then, you did what you needed to. And but he also mentioned that before then that he was in a cabin and that he decided to walk to this place, your mansion. We just wanted to try and figure out what happened that night, why he was here. Perhaps you know of a beef or a vendetta between these two. Perhaps you could help to fill in some of the blanks and how it was when you arrived. We only got a very brief statement from you, and I would very much appreciate it if you could make a full one now.
Sure.
And he pulls out a pen and a sheaf of parchment, and he's trying to control his nerves as he dips the quill into the ink and then puts it on the paper, just looking at you.
You are an investigator, correct?
Correct.
And do you know what I do?
I have been made aware by your boss, Adna, that I should not exactly ask, but that you do things specifically for the initiative.
Right. And you are aware of who it is that we are currently against, as it were?
Yes, the assembly.
Right. This killer was assembly. They have a lot to hide. Now, what I saw that little goblin fella standing over my bed with a knife. It fucking got me good, too. So you can tell. And I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Scamos coming in and saving me.
I need you to make a deception check.
Sure.
No pressure.
Oh, man.
Roll 20. What are you doing?
It's making sure that the plot goes the right way.
Yes, the hard way, you mean?
Oh, man, that's an 11.
You see them as you describe these details of the heroic death of Scamos, you see their quill stop, and they look up at you and they say, There is something that we need to discuss. Are you aware that lying to us is... it would not help your case?
You think I'm a liar?
I do.
And what motives would I have to kill the person who took me in, trained me to fight, gave me a job, a home, food?
We do not know, but we know that he was very outspoken against you, and it is rather confusing as to why he would leave everything to do you when it was well known that he despised you.
Yes, that's actually quite curious to me as well. And Ivoris looks like he's in thought for a second.
But there was also something else. Something I did not tell you, but when we used Speak Dead upon the goblin, whose name was Grinton, you are correct, he was assembly. We found the mark. But he also told us that when he saw the cleric, that he was dead. And he never mentioned you. Just that he always had his eyes forward, walking from the cabin. And that the last thing he saw was this dead cleric's face.
So, let me try to figure this out. You're trying to tell me that goblin walked with no purpose into the house, saw a body, and then what?
We found him covered in plenty of defensive wounds. Lots of them.
Yeah, it was a nasty fight.
Yes. But the blade was somewhat smaller than one that you can. The thing is, Mr. Ivoris, we are just trying to get to the truth of the matter. We just want to know what really happened, and I am pretty good at reading expressions and body language, even on you. And he looks a little bit nervous. Things people say and do, and tally up with truth of the matter. I can tell that you are keeping something back. But it is also true that your mentor left everything to you, despite disliking you. It is also true that he did not name you.
No, he didn't.
We are also at a loss as to why this assembly person would come and kill your friend, Gamos.
He was trying to kill me, but that's initiative business.
And you are a part of the initiative. Did you piss this one off in particular? Have you ever met him before?
You mentioned a cabin. I recognize that.
Yes, do you know where this cabin is?
Yeah.
Could you perhaps tell us so we can continue our investigations from there?
Yeah, sure. I had a job that went bad there. I can tell you where it is. I'm going to be careful, though. It's a known area hideout of the assembly.
Right, okay. Of course. I shall have to check with my superior, who'll probably go tell me to check with Adna, but she'll probably tell me that that place is off limits for us to go to our investigation.
Well, it's a dangerous place to be.
Yes.
But, yeah. I mean, I'd been there before. Maybe he knew me from there.
Perhaps.
He must have thought that he was on a list or something. Knew we had a mission coming up. We did. That's what I was hiding. I'm not supposed to talk about the missions. We just got back from it.
Take a deception check. Sorry.
Is it a deception, though? It's like a half truth.
It's a half truth, so it's a deception. It's either the full truth or it's not. You can dance around the truth, but it's not.
It's a 14.
So this is turning to a prison break game.
God damn it.
Am I going to have to bust both your asses out of jail?
How am I going to
Yes.
jail?
Because the answer is I'm not going
How
to.
am I had to get jail?
You see the investigator just like look up at you, look you square in the eyes. He says, "I understand that some of what you do is top secret, but I feel like there is probably something more."
Be a lot I can't tell you. That's the nature of my work. I'll tell you all I can.
Okay. I would respectfully ask that you do not leave, but I know I cannot actually overpower your boss. We can't release the estate to you while this is ongoing. I am very sorry. But I am not convinced that you are telling me everything that happened that night, and until I can get to the root of the matter, I mean, it may be national security. I mean, your job, I don't know, but I will have to stumble across that myself. But until then, I'm very sorry. We cannot release the estate to you, but I can tell you where your friend Scamos was buried.
That would be great.
He tells you about the cemetery, which is probably, just off to the east. It's probably like the biggest well-known one. Multi-god, multi-faith place. You probably would know it when you see it, where he would be rested. Gives you the general idea. It's off to the east, and in that graveyard, it's like, fairly central. He was a pretty well-known cleric. And he releases you on your way.
Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you figure this out.
There are some reports, witnesses about people coming and going from the estate. Do you know of a person named... How long have you been away?
From the estate?
Yes, you went on a mission shortly afterwards. How long have you been gone?
That is a good question. I believe it's
14
close
days.
2 weeks, technically.
Yeah,
14 days, yeah.
Close, I was going to say close to a month. Yeah. Well,
It was 7 days to the library and then like 7
Exactly
days
that,
back,
yes. Yeah.
roughly.
Yep. Almost exactly that. You have not had the news then about... I've gotten some very vague reports about this high paladin, a tabaxi. She was seen at the estate the night the night of the murder, I guess. We're interested, but we can't get any confirmation.
yeah, she don't like me a lot either.
Well, that is, I guess, works in your favor because we found out that she was assembly.
She was?
She was. She came out about it a little while ago, a couple of days, and has been on the run ever since. She's kidnapped a couple of people from the nearby temples and a few random people from a couple of children from an orphanage. Special children, gifted, you understand. Not like me, they are.
And let me get this straight. You have this tabaxi, the one that you know hates me, works for the enemy of the people that I work for.
Yes.
The people that I'm doing very secret, very big jobs for.
Of course.
You realize that, right?
Yes, I realize that your job is very... well, I better not ask questions, is how important your job is.
I'm doing the best I can to help you out with understanding. Now, you're telling me you're still having trouble clearing my name after you still have this tabaxi known to be coming back and forth from the residents, who I met once. Yes, she did not like me.
That is the thing. We cannot confirm this report. We do not know it if it's true. It is just a rumor. There has been a lot of rumors about Millhook over the last few days.
Well, I can confirm that she's been there once.
Do you know when?
I do. I say a few days before it actually happened. I cheat her 2 days. I cheat this guy 2 days. I say that the tabaxi showed up 2 days before because I don't want to say that she was there on the night that...
I'm going to ask for.
Okay.
Perception check, dude.
Oh, man. I have a +9 to this.
How did you...
Because I rolled like a 1 and a 3 or something. I rolled a 2 and a 5.
It's the world's best. Come on.
Welcome to my life.
27.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
That's more
Roll
like
20.
The most
Come on.
minutely innocuous lie. Yeah, she was there 5 days before. It's like, oh. Okay. Well, until we can confirm, it's just...
I get it. I don't...
It is okay. It is not... It might be your fault, but I cannot say for surety right now. Please.
But you're saying that you have all of this information about all of these people who are against my people and they're all around my business and you still have me as a suspect. And he like removes his eye patch a little bit.
Gross. This dude who was like, terrified of you anyways, like skitters back even more.
I'm trying to be real calm right now, but I really don't appreciate being labeled anything other than the victim in this situation.
You have to understand, I have to
anything else
ask
with
these
your
questions.
I get it. It's your job. I do one too. It's not an easy job. Yours isn't either. I can respect that. Oh, that's fine. I'm not happy with this situation. All right? If you need anything, I'd be more than happy to oblige. But
I have a
if you have
residence listed
business with that
here.
tabaxi, keep it the fuck away from me.
He nods.
I don't want anything to do with any initiative, any... I'm going to stay in the manor. I'll stay in a bedroom, spare bedroom. I'm staying an hour out of town. I'll be in the manor, out of the crime scene. It's fine.
You understand we have someone positioned there. Just as long as you do not disturb the crime scene, then, and you are okay. Well, even if you aren't okay, we have to have someone posted
I'm used to people being there. It's fine.
Okay. Well,
I'll keep to myself.
I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that we can solve this, but until I can say for certain, I'm sorry. And he does look genuinely like sorry that he can't clear you right now, but also there's a little bit of suspicion in there. But that might be because you're a Yunti. Okay. That's you on your way. All right. I'm just going to pop back over to Arawn. Did you come up with any plans?
Best thing I could think of would be going into the city proper and trying to hire somebody.
Okay.
Because I don't want to hire somebody that's on the payroll of the initiative.
Okay. Cool. There's a possibility of two of these paths colliding any minute now. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right. It's not easy to find someone who can do an anti-scrying spell. As you wander the city, how are you? Who are you going to try and approach? There's no like witches a society here. There's nothing like that. It's just like here's a bunch of people. They're trying to do some things. It's the city of dreams. But there isn't really any like magic focused places other than like the temples, which are falling into disrepute.
Arawn's going to go to the Temple of Agma.
Okay.
Who better to know than the God of Knowledge?
Oh no, don't make me do this voice again.
And also, it just so happens that, hey, maybe the head priest there might be so inclined to help me, being that I've fixed their fucking machine a little bit.
Okay.
And that is the thing. Arawn's going to go in and offer assistance for knowledge.
Okay, you're in to make a bargain. All right.
I will fix the rest of their machine.
You walk into the temple. There is no one here but the Tortle guards who helped throw out Greff previously and the High Cleric. It seems like about 3 weeks after the end of the world, people aren't so worried about knowledge right now. They're just busy praying and getting on with their lives.
That's the best time for knowledge, though.
Yeah. Here you are.
What was the...
Oh, dear. You see the priest standing there, and he says,
welcome back.
Thank you. It is good to be back. Now that the things I was trying to deal with are over for now.
Did you have much success on your mission?
Classified, unfortunately.
What can we do for you today, then?
Sorry, I don't think I ever properly introduced myself. My name is Arawn. It is a pleasure to meet you. And Arawn will extend a hand. He extends the mechanical hand.
Okay. He takes it as if there's like no qualms at all. He shakes your hand and he says,
Pleasure to meet you, Arawn. Is there... are you perhaps going to come fix the rest of this, or are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, I was hoping perhaps I could make a bit of a bargain.
sure.
Service for knowledge of a sort. I have a compatriot who is being targeted by some rather uncouth people who are spying with divination magics. It is outside of my realm of skill to be able to block it normally. However, as you can tell, and Arawn like kind of like ruffles his wings a bit and like kind of shows the arm, I am a bit skilled in other ways. I think that I could make something that might be able to prevent my friend from being the target of such rude intrusions. However, I need access to somebody with a spell that would prevent such things.
Well, I can tell you that there is no one here within the temple that is skilled in this particular manner. We believe knowledge should be for all, so hiding yourself from, well, you see where I'm going.
Understood.
There are other people in some of, let's say, the seedier places. They're probably more adept at these things than we are.
I'm not going to suggest that you would stoop so low to such a thing, of course, but if you were to do such a thing, where would you suggest?
Take a persuasion roll.
That's going to be bad. I'm fucking terrible at those. Nat 1. That's a 3. Told you. I can't even be mad. I can't even be mad.
We can't be mad at this.
You have to understand that as a high cleric of Ogma, I shouldn't really be delving into the seedier side of life. I need to portray and live a dedicated life. I assume perhaps seek out the I don't mean to say it, but scummier side of life. Perhaps that would be a good place to start.
That is fair. All right. Well, if you would like, at least for that bit of knowledge, I can do a bit of work if you would like on the system you have here. If only for the fact that it irks me that it still sounds a little bit rusty.
Yes, of course. Right this way.
And he takes you down to where the machinery is. It's just underneath the temple, the chapel itself. It's a complicated set of gizmos. You could probably spend days down here making this more efficient. It's a big collection of stuff. Yeah. So if you want to earn favors and knowledge, no, not really. Not really.
Are there books being delivered and transferred?
No. They seem to go up to where they are. Are they within reach? They're behind like a seriously complicated set of gizmos. It's not like easy to get to any of them.
Fuck.
Yeah. Like the easiest way to call these things out is out of their thing, or you take apart. Basically, you could spend days down here going through the machinery and cleaning it up and getting access to books, but probably longer than you'd want to spend right now.
Yeah, all right. So he'll spend maybe like 2 hours on it, just basically like WD-40ing some of it.
Yep. Yep, that's fine.
And then he's gonna, because he does technically have a contact in the CD shit now with that, whatchamacallit, the Eric Cocker and the, what was his name?
Azed.
That was it, Azed.
Yeah, in a certain bar, I think.
Yeah, in a certain bar. So after like the 2 hours, Ron's going to go there.
Okay. Cool beans. I'm going to say for the sake of brevity that you will probably be meeting Greff there. I don't have any reason to think Greff will go anywhere, but like, now do I do? I guess I go drink.
That's fine. That actually kind of works out.
It's like you read my mind.
It's like I could go back and ask for help, but they're probably going to be there right now, and there's booze here. Okay, you find Greff there. Ivoris, is there any chance in hell that you would have gone to this bar?
Good
Would
joke.
you have gone to the shittiest bar in town?
I'm trying to think of if there's any logical reason I could get him over there. Let's see.
The only thing I could think of would be if you're actively looking for Greff.
Or perhaps you guys decided that you may meet here later if you want to discuss plans for how you're going to hide or make a thingy to hide yourselves, or to make a deal with the initiative for you to keep the scroll. I mean, that would be a logical reason for you guys to meet somewhere slightly seedy where no one's going to overhear you.
We're all lone wolves. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's an option. It's one I'm happy to float out there.
I just really don't think he has a reason to go over there right now.
Okay, then you want there. That's fine.
Unless you can help me think of a reason. But I really, I just can't get him. I can't think of any reason he would go over
Ivoris
there.
wants to get crunk.
Even if he were looking for information, he wouldn't go there for it. Because the information he's looking for is, he would go somewhere else first.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I apologize, but I guess you're not here then.
Tell you what, hold on. I've got something for you.
Oh boy.
How close is the Temple of Savras to the Temple of Ogma? Are they one and the same?
They'd be close to each other. Yeah, there's like a little district.
Okay,
of
we
various
pass
temples.
each other on the street as
Okay.
Ivoris is going to the temple.
Actually, to be fair, you also probably spent a good couple of hours being investigated by that dude, like having to
did,
wait
yeah.
and sign papers and all this good shit, and then went to go pray and then like
We
visiting.
spent
Yeah,
about as much time, right?
yeah, it's about
We
equal
spent
time.
about
That's
an
fine.
equal amount of time.
All right, okay, then we'll start with you two meeting in the street, and then we'll go meet Greff.
Okay. So Arawn is walking down the street towards this shady side of town and sees Ivoris. And he's not going to say anything out loud. He's going to use the earpiece instead.
Mhm.
So, actually, no, is it a party call?
I'm gonna say it's a party call. I don't want to make this like even more complicated. Like you're already
Okay.
having massive liberties as it is.
Ivoris looks pretty angry. He's like walking kind of hastily, and he kind of slows down when he sees you.
Arawn's going to just into the earpiece say, I'm onto something. There's something going on. I need to head to the shady part of town to get some info.
It's now really a good time.
Yes. I mean, what, you want to go out for dinner first? Like, fuck.
No, I've got shit I'm doing too. Never mind. Fine.
I mean, I can go by myself. It's fine if you don't want to go.
Well, I think we're all in a bit of trouble, right?
That's the thing I'm trying to work on. There's
I figured, yeah. I mean, mine's not. So, while mine's important, it's not as important. Fine. Come on.
okay. And as we're walking towards the bar, then into the earpiece so that even Greff will hear it, he's going to explain that Adnilov is essentially being spied on, and he's trying to work on a device that will prevent that so that we can get to the bottom of what's going on. He's not mentioning the part where she said she would fund him.
Of course. Okay, you guys make your way to. I assume you're going to the leaky bucket. That's the scummiest part of town that we've invented so far. So I think it's probably going to be the place.
Yeah, and there's the stereotypical informant.
Yeah.
With his kooky sidekick.
His kooky sidekick. The beers may or may not be free here. Who knows? So yeah, you guys turn up at the leaky bucket. The boot in the corner has been moved because that was like a long time ago now. 9 weeks ago, the boot has gone eventually. Maybe someone put it on, who knows. There are like fresh new like areas of decay in here. A couple of chairs have been replaced with slightly nicer ones, but have immediately been like covered in beer stains and wine stains and all this good stuff.
Gross.
The same tiefling lady is serving behind the bar. And I assume you just find Greff there drinking quite heavily. There's a couple of patrons here. Azed the Bard is over in the corner, continuing to play his harmonica and singing crude things. Okay.
Okay. Again, into the earpiece. Greff, I assume you heard everything I was saying, yes?
Unfortunately, yes.
Then you understand that things are a bit more complicated than they were before.
Yes, you guys have managed to make it even more complicated.
I think it was going to be more complicated if we did hand it over. I'm going to try to fix this. I need to talk to your buddy in the corner here.
What was his name? Set?
Azed.
Azed. Yeah, Greff just kind of turns around like, Azed, get over here.
What are you, my boss? Jeez. And
I will. You know I can beat you.
yeah, well, I know that Amira can kick your butt too. I mean, I don't want to blood you. And he meanders over and like sits on the bar. You see the Aarakocra just like realize that they're alone on the stage, begin to like freak a little bit and just like waddle over to where the goblin is now sitting.
Greff's gonna move over to the goblin, one of the 3 full mugs in front of him.
Well, I appreciate it. You're a very kind employer, sir. And he picks up the mug and drains it.
Arawn will come up behind and like put a hand on Greff's shoulder and then a hand on Azed's shoulder.
I remember you.
Yes, I would hope so. I actually came here looking for you, friend.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as keep your voice down. Just because I was willing to exchange certain things for certain things last time doesn't mean I'm up for the same task again. I don't want to get a reputation. I want people to think we're friends.
Oh, no, just, friendly drinking buddies.
Greff, what have you got me into? And he like looks over and gives you like a hard stare.
Probably the last favor I will ever ask you.
You see him smile very happily. Well, if it's the last favor I'll ever have to owe you, I'm in.
God damn it.
You want to waste it on this guy?
Greff takes the mug he put in front of Azed, takes like more than half of it, and then puts it back in front of him.
Rude.
Is Ivoris with us as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
reluctantly.
And where is the tiefling right now?
She's just behind the bar. She's serving some people.
A bit further away from us, I assume.
You will need to get further away if you want to try and have a proper quiet conversation. There's a lot of people around here.
Why don't we grab a booth in one of the corners?
He just like laughs. Like the booth may be like a partially broken wall. Like a partially
More or
broken
less.
wall, and like, it's cracked and broken, and it really doesn't provide any sort of it kind of separates the bar by the fact that it's a piece of wood that's lying there, but so does the table that's been overturned on the other side of it.
That, yes. That thing you just described that could be described as a booth.
It could be generously described as a booth. Okay.
So we go over. Arawn's going to have his wings extend out and kind of envelop the group so that it kind of gives like a little bit of cover.
Greff,
His wings are fucking massive.
Greff is gonna swat away your wings when you start doing that. Like, no, just can you be
What?
normal for
What?
5 fucking seconds, dude? Just ask him. Just ask him.
Arawn holds his hand up and waves it in front of Greff and says, "What about me tells you I'm normal?"
Yeah, I'm telling you to be normal. I know you are abnormal. I'm telling you to become normal.
At this point,
Normal is so
Azed,
boring.
like leans over and like nudges Ivoris a little bit and looks at the other two and is like, are they always like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I just ignore it most of the time, actually.
Right.
Only difference is one of us is a little bit smarter than the other.
He's right.
Fine, whatever.
What can I
Anyways.
very suspiciously do for you now?
Arawn like rolls his eyes and then continues.
Greff giggles at that one.
As I just did. I just rolled my eyes. Listeners, just so you know. I need to find somebody who is capable of doing anti-divination, anti-scrying magics. I need to create something that I can imbue it into.
Right. Okay. And like they kind of like nod their head a little bit and just like, that sort of magic's a little bit underground. So I might know of a few people. And they reach out, take a beer, and very confidently drink it. Leave that statement hanging there.
Greff's gonna look at him. Don't you owe Mia some money? Or did you pay that off already?
Oh, I think you find that me coming over to speak with you was my last favour, wasn't it, Greff?
That's why Mia owes me money. You can collect from him. Now the exact amount will be determined by the usefulness of your upcoming information.
All right. Well, there's a certain person who, until I think maybe a couple of hours ago, used to help run this bar. And he looks at Greff.
What?
Oh my God, I can't believe I have to spell it out. Her name begins with an A.
Wait, she knows magic?
Yeah, dude, where have you been for the last 15 years? We go way back. She has magic. She's just, super secret.
Jesus.
Before you turned up, she was a real butt kicker, and then you turned up and suddenly she went all doe-eyed and childlike.
That's just a fucking act. She's just trying to get more money out of me.
Well, yeah, of course she is. She's very good at it.
She is.
Well, yeah.
Ivoris shares a look with Greff because we literally had the conversation about his money going places.
I'll have you know those were investments.
We've both had a rough and tumble. You should know better. Of course she's got magic.
Oh, that would so explain how good she was at cards. That bitch!
Oh, you called it cards? I called it something way different, mate.
All right. Fine. Okay, we can... all right, I said. Oh. Fromamir will pay you handsomely, I'll let him know.
Right.
How did I not know this?
Now, I think just so that, we can continue this illusion that we're just drinking buddies, I think a round on the house on the new boss, I think, will be a good one.
I swear to Christ.
And as Ed stands up on the bar, he looks down at you with a wicked grin, like, Almighty Lord and Master, Landlord Greff has decided that he's in a good mood and it's a round for anyone, whatever you like on the house. And he looks down at you with a really big smile. To Greff! And all the guys in the bar is like, Greff. Yeah, Greff. Yeah, that's the man. And the woman behind the bar is like, oh no, I can't believe this has happened again.
To Greff. Yeah. Greff finishes what?
Arawn's giving Ivoris a look of what the fuck is happening?
You own this bar now?
Well, kinda, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't think anything in this bar makes sense.
You know what? Of the things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, Greff owning this bar is probably
It wasn't exactly...
this is the most sensible thing that's happened in a while, really. I'm happy with it, actually.
It wasn't on purpose.
The world is as it should be.
You guys are going to be the death.
This is Greff's bar. This is, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It's
not my bar.
Yeah,
No, it's not my bar.
Okay, all right.
As a bunch of people go to
it looks
Greff
like
as
your
they
bar.
begin drinking their expensive whiskies. And
Greff, you made sure to fill out your proper documentation
I don't
for
own
taxing,
this
yes?
bar. God damn it.
Where does the deed? Usually it's posted up somewhere in a big frame. Is there the name?
Wasn't there a woman you needed to talk to? Something about divination magic?
I don't know, Greff. Where am I finding this woman I'm supposed to be talking to?
Follow me. Greff grabs whatever little is left in his mug and starts walking.
You look in horror as the very fine drow wine and the very expensive tiefling beers and all this stuff are being served on the house as an entire round. The poor bar lady is just overwhelmed with orders as everyone's crashing at the bar.
I said one drink.
As Ed is over in the corner.
What is this?
Azed is over in the corner making things worse. The bird is like flittering around, like, yeah, whistling all the time. It's going to be a great party in here. Everyone's going to get smashed and it's all going to be on the house. You guys make your way down to the cellar, however. Amongst the hubbub, your disappearance is kind of not really noticed as Azed is doing his best to distract everyone with free beer. You guys make your way down into the cellar. Like before, Greff, you have to light a torch. The rest of you guys can see in the dark. And as you make your way down there, you guys see nothing for the moment. You don't see any people. You just see a lot of casks.
Yeah. Greff kind of just looks around trying to see her through the darkness, but eventually gives up and like, Amira, are you down here?
You hear like a small scuffle, a couple of footsteps, and she appears out of the darkness into the torchlight.
You actually trust me, don't you?
Well, why wouldn't I? You're bringing all of your initiative friends with you.
Yeah.
And she looks very uncomfortable at all of you.
Lovely, Greff.
Well, as I told you before, my partners have been making some unwise decisions, and we're probably about to make one more.
Thank you, Greff, for apparently telling all about us to your friends.
She puts her tail around Greff's wrist, and she's like, he hasn't told me anything of any real value, just that you guys have made a slight hiccup and, he's not happy. I think it's just, boyfriend come home, just wants to moan about what's going on.
Amira, please.
She looks at you smiling, like through lashes.
Quite frankly, I couldn't give a shit. We're
Good.
not here on any sort of business.
Yes, we are.
No, this is my own personal effort. It's coming out of my pocket, so.
I believe we're on a point of stasis anyways with our employment.
This is all off the book stuff, basically.
Amir, you can cast magic.
She looks at you, she's like, who told you that?
Doesn't matter who told me. The fact that you never told me just tells me you've been cheating me at cards for so long.
Greff, she stepped out of the darkness.
Yes, people do
You
that.
live down here? What are you doing?
She's hiding. She's got...
Greff!
Boring? You hiding down here for hours?
All right, hold on a sec. What was your name, Amira?
Yeah.
Was that it? Okay, Amira, you really should not be surprised. I mean, if Greff blabs about us, what the fuck you think he's doing? Like, come on.
She unwraps her tail and she says,
He's got lips looser than a prostitute. Come on.
You wouldn't
tell me
know.
about it.
I don't. Okay.
Okay, so why? So has Greff told you why you're here?
No, this has nothing to do with your problem. We can probably somehow make this even worse for me. Arawn.
Oh, great. We have more problems.
Okay, don't you start with me. You're the one who didn't want to give the scroll back.
Okay, Greff, you remember the thing where I said you need to shut up?
Scroll.
No,
Shut up.
Amir,
And her ears like prick up.
Amir,
Greff, leave the room. Greff, leave the room. Well, out right now.
No, I want him to stay. He's telling me so much. And she puts her arm around his waist.
All right. No, Arawn is like grabbing Greff. I mean, like, go get up. Go.
No.
Get out.
No.
Get out.
Not happening.
Greff.
I arranged this
Then
stupid-ass meeting.
Shut up. Then stop it.
Okay. She puts her hands up like, I am very confused on what's going on right now. I thought Greff was bringing you here so that you can help solve the problem that I have. And apparently you're here for something else.
Maybe we can make a trade then. As long as Greff doesn't say anything else stupid.
I'm going to go out on a limb after some things that you guys have said. Is that there's something to do with a scroll?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Ogma scroll?
No.
Take a deception check.
It doesn't have to do with that.
She's dropping Ogma scroll as a question mark.
Fuck. 19.
Okay. I guess I was wrong then.
You know what they say about assuming.
Makes an ass out of you, so...
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh. So what do you want?
I need somebody with the ability to cast a spell that prevents divination magic, scrying, things of the sort. So I can imbue it into an object for a more permanent form.
I can probably help you with that. It's not exactly my forte, and it's been a while. I actually know someone who could do that for you if you help her.
With
She needs to go north.
There's a place that I need to escort this girl to, and it's a little bit out of the way. It's, I don't know if you know it, there's a mine, and I need to get her in there so I can hand her off to someone who's going to take her to not be my problem.
Do I know of the mine that she's talking about?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
That's our mine.
Yes, it is your
That's
mine.
literally our mine.
Yes, it is.
Wait, is Atna part of the fucking assembly bullshit?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah, Greff just realized this.
Arawn literally just the loudest facepalm. The loudest.
It's pretty much echoed by Amira's facepalm. She's like, I can't believe sometimes how really... I love you, Greff. I think this...
I don't.
I think this... I need to know right now, are you guys with the Kino initiative or are you not? Because Greff seems to be under the impression you might not be soon, and I
Yeah,
know
we
he's
might
looking
not
for a
be.
really good fight, and
He's always fighting things.
yeah, which is kind of why
Is
he's
this-
perfect for what I needed him for.
Is this room secure?
He's secure enough, yes.
Magically so?
She nods. My friend is protecting this place.
Okay.
Are you with the assembly? Or are you with the Kino initiative? Or are you with neither?
We don't know. Literally, no fucking clue right now. It seems that both sides are trying to play the same game, and neither one is really laying all their cards on the table where anybody has any idea what's going on.
The only person who I owe anything to is Atna, so whatever she's doing, I'm conjuncturally part of.
And the thing is that she is being watched.
So she's a part of the assembly.
Maybe? I don't.
I don't know her. And I've been around for a bit.
And you're a part of the assembly.
She nods.
What interesting friends you have, Greff.
It's very interesting to have Greff here. It's very easy to keep an eye on what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know if Edna's in the assembly, but I don't know of her.
I have some thoughts, but it is hard to say for sure. I can't attest to you, Ivoris, or to you, Greff, but laying it on the table here, I honestly could not give a fuck. I have a goal, and I need to obtain it. I don't care where the money comes from. I don't care where the resources come from. This was always a means to an end. I'm just laying that out right now, so you understand that if I ever make a decision that seems off to you, I don't give a shit.
So you're just a pure mercenary. You don't actually care if this world exists or not.
I care so as I care enough that if my existence were to be threatened is an issue.
The end of the world is a threat to your existence.
And that's a curiosity of mine as well. What if I were to tell you we're specifically trying to keep bad things from happening? Whose side would that put us on?
I'm biased. I'm in the assembly. Of course I'm going to be biased. But we're trying to fix a mistake.
And what mistake is that? What do you do? If you want us to work with you on anything at all.
She looks down and she looks up and she says, if I tell you you're going to be in the assembly or you're going to be dead, and I have to put this mission first, so I'll make a deal with you. You get my friend safe, and we make your friend safe. She looks at Arawn. Then I will tell you what you need to know about the assembly. But if I'm not convinced after I tell you, I'm going to kill you. It's a snap decision.
You can try.
She smiles at you. I like your gumption.
Yeah. The issue that I have is things are a bit tense to be doing favors for people without a lot of trust. Now, here's the issue that I have. If I help out Ednoloff, I'm no longer a part of the initiative. And then they'll try to kill me anyway. I owe allegiance to the people that look to me for guidance, and not a lot else. And if both sides are going to be against me, Ednoloff trusted me. I guess whatever side Ednoloff's on is the side that I'm on.
She nods. I understand.
I'm going to pick the side of the people that trust me.
Then I guess I better work on Edna, huh? We'll help her. Because she's important. And if she can see what we're trying to fix and stop all of this, then I'm sure we can find ways to help you and you and whatever it is that you want, Greff. She smiles. Except me, I'm not into that anymore. Well, okay. I have to make sure my friend is safe. She's casting magic here, but I'll meet you here late tomorrow. I'll see if my contact can move up his schedule. And we'll get everything going tomorrow. I'm trusting you not to give me up. And she looks at Greff. Trusting you not to give me up.
It's not going to happen.
Can I roll an insight on her intentions with us?
Yes, it's a kind of real specific, more questiony thing, but sure.
Well, I just want to see if she has like...
If her intentions
he's basically
are actually...
looking for traps, essentially. Like, he's okay, but like he's trying to like pick up on anything malicious at all, really.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
14.
Her intent seems to be good. They appear to be what she's saying. She is very intrigued in your group makeup and your position. So, you know, she sees an opportunity for her cause in your group.
Right.
And it's not that she's just cold and like logical about it. There is an emotional attachment there. She does know and trust Greff. There is that there too. But
that's good enough for me. Iris
Yep.
just has trust issues, so I have to
no, that's fair.
address those every now and then.
The only matter then with this anti-scrying thing is where it's going to be done. Normally, something like this I would have to do in my workshop. However, I can't imagine it would be very easy for me to smuggle somebody in there without people noticing.
Where's your workshop? The mine? You work at the mine?
What?
We have to bring her to the mine anyway, so
I didn't realize that it was occupied so much. I needed to scout it out still. It's not my usual place.
I would not recommend going inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for where my workshop is, it's deeper within. I don't like to be disturbed when I'm working. And I need plenty of space.
Okay. I'll let you guys sort out the details. I will get my guy to try and move his date up. But he said for us to meet him at the mine, so
Quick question.
I think that's going to change. Yes.
You know anything about a dragon?
I heard there was something to do with a dragon at a place called the Bargain. Like apparently a dragon was born there and the egg grew into something beautiful and a great golden dragon came from this egg out of this place called the Bargain. But it's just a folk story really. I don't know the whole thing. Why?
Insight.
Sure. It's super easy.
Nat 1. Never mind.
Oh my good God.
How was it? Is it that easy, V? Is it that easy?
That was easy.
Hey, roll 20. That's twice.
You know what?
That's twice. Look, persuasion, Nat 1. And then I rolled a deception 19. And then another Nat 1.
You're not like it's fucking you every other roll.
This is what
You're
you
not-
get for making fun of my every other roll issues
You're
earlier.
not like
Fuck you. Yours are
100%
worse.
sure if she's telling the truth. She's really hard to read right now. Jesus Christ.
Arawn's just so confused about everything that has been going on.
Right?
That's also Arch, but that's fine.
No. Attacked Symphonia the other day.
Wait, are you saying that dragons are real? She has like a very skeptical look on her face.
Well,
I know,
I'm quite
right?
Positive. I'm quite positive we saw one.
we definitely saw one.
Okay.
It destroyed Sinfona.
I have no idea then. Sorry. Is it? I mean, they destroyed a place, so I guess it's super important. Maybe my friend knows. She's very irritating but knowledgeable.
They destroyed a specific place. A place that we were asking for information from.
Okay, so, sorry. Meet here tomorrow. We'll help Edna. You help my friend escape, and then hopefully we can get this solved one way or another. I guess you guys should get moving.
Ivoris just walks out in front of everybody else and just keeps walking.
Yep. Yeah.
Greff, like, just kind of exchanges a glance with Amira, like, why did it need to be complicated?
I have to go be
She shrugs and she says, I'm sorry for using you. But you really do talk too much.
Greff kind of, like, has a little smile, just like a little, you never complained until now.
She smiles just like wickedly at you, and she like strokes her tail along like the side of one of your legs, and she's like, maybe another time. I've got places to go.
Don't we all?
And she walks into the darkness and disappears.
He just says to the empty room,
As Greff,
like, don't we all?
he's like, oh. I'm like, wait, she's gone. And as Greff makes his way up to the bar and you guys decide what you're going to do for the next couple of days, we will call this episode an end.
What the fuck is going on? I cannot believe this shit today. We're about to have quite the chat, the crew and I. If you would like to chat with the crew, you can find us at TLD Pod on Twitter. You can email us at theluckydiepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much to all the patrons who are supporting the show. You mean a whole lot to us. This show is quite an adventure to make, and you guys make it all worth it. It's wonderful to have your support and your care. So thank you. That's it. We will see you guys next. When do we do this? Once a month. Next month. See you then. Bye. Fucking hell. I'm sorry about this voice too. Yeah.
Greff was fucking everyone from the get-go.
You just
That's
didn't
what all
know.
that meant. Greff just was like the idiot that was talking to a spy for years. And no one fucking knew. What a dumb fucking idiot. God, Ivoris just realized that like he cannot fucking trust you at all.
You
Cannot trust you.
You literally just lost all trust from both of your party members.
You literally were in the arms of a spy. And you fucking knew about it too. That's the thing. That's the thing is that like when we found out, you knew about it, so you weren't shocked at all, and that's gonna bite you in the ass.
Oh, that's so good. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
What the fuck, Greff? This whole
Wouldn't this
time,
be something you tell your teammates?
Greff.
God damn it, Greff.
Greff's point of view,
Greff.
you guys have basically fucked him so much, so hard in the last like 24 hours that
Greff,
he doesn't give
rule
a fuck.
number 1. You never put your dick in crazy.